verses 4 through 7, reads as follows. And I say unto you, my friends, and I say unto you, my friends, be not afraid of them that kill the body, and after that have no more that they can do. But I will forewarn you whom you shall fear. Fear him which after he hath killed hath power to cast into hell. Yea, I say unto you, fear him. Are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 farthings? And not one of them is forgotten before God? But even the very hairs on your head are all numbered. Fear not, therefore. You are of more value than many sparrows. You are of more value than many sparrows. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading, hearing, doing, and understanding of his most holy word. Today I want to use as a title these words, All About Me. All about me. Usually when we say something, they say it's all about you. It's an idea, a concept that we try to steer believers away from. Whenever we get to the point where we are saying that, oh, so it's all about you. That's a problem. We view that as the problem of being self-absorbed. But today, the concept of it being all about you is exactly where I want and I need for you to go. 3 verses. They're very familiar. You could probably say them along with me. 1, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth on him should not perish, but have everlasting life. For God so loved the world. He was wounded for our transgressions and bruised for our iniquity. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and by his stripes we are healed. But God commended his love toward us in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. I want to tell you a common, even as we read that, there is a common mistake that's made by many of us church folk. It's that when we hear the word of God, we sometimes miss the excitement in the word because we tend to generalize the text instead of personalizing the text. We tend to generalize the text instead of personalizing the text the way that it was intended to be received. What are we saying? We know that John 3:16 starts out by saying, but God so loved the world. He loved the world is a general statement that applies to everyone in the world. But here I have, do I do harm to the text? Do I do harm to the text if I say, but God loved me so much? He loved me so much that he gave his only begotten son. That if I would only believe on him, then I would be able to live with him forever. Do I do harm to the text if I say that, y'all? If I'm in my private learning, no. It's real, and it's real to me. I believe this. I believe this is what God has done. I believe that God has called you and I to be a part of his family. And if we are a part of his family, then he claims us relatives. And since we are relatives, we have a relationship with him. And I'm telling you something about that relationship is that he desires to have an intense relationship with you and with me. An intense personal, an intense personal relationship with you and for me. Why do I say that? Why do I say intense? It is to be an intense personal relationship. Why? Look, two reasons. One, firstly, to God, sparrows were considered to be essentially worthless. A sparrow was considered to be essentially worthless. The text says this, are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 farthings? Now that may not mean anything to you, so let me break it down and explain something. A farthing is a quarter of a penny. A farthing is a quarter of a penny. So what God is saying is, if I was going to go out and buy me some sparrows, I would be willing to pay 2 farthings to get 5 of them. 5 sparrows only cost half a penny. 1 sparrow costs 1/10 of a penny. Y'all, you can't buy gumballs for a penny anymore. But for a sparrow, what you need to do is take 1 penny, cut that penny up into 10 parts, then take that 1/10, one of those little itty bitty pieces that you have, and if you trade that in, you can get you 1 sparrow. That's how insignificant God is saying that the sparrow is. Nonetheless, 1 sparrow is not forgotten by God. That's what the text says. As insignificant as they are, 1 sparrow is not ever forgotten by God. What does that mean? Look, as insignificant as the sparrow may be, as insignificant as it may be to God, he has enough of a relationship with even one of those little sparrows that God would attend the funeral of a sparrow. He would attend the funeral of 1 worthless, insignificant sparrow. However, you, Lindsey Bryant, you, R.V. Moore, you are not worthless. worthless to God. You, Sister Moore, you, Sister Hall, you are not insignificant to God. Now, each one of us, each one of our Father's children, y'all, we are not insignificant. We are priceless to him. Oh, the sparrow is worthless. The sparrow is insignificant. He loved the sparrow, but you, however, to him are priceless. Look. The Bible says you are of more value than many sparrows. How do we know this? In order to buy you back, a hefty price would have to be paid. In order to buy you back, a true sacrifice would have to be made. In order to buy you back, it would cost him, and it would cost him dearly. But for God so loved the world that he gave you by your name. He gave you everlasting life. He gave you his only begotten Son. And that's what the price was. Why? Why would he give his Son? Because you, by your name, you, Percy Sharps, you are priceless. Can I tell you something? He treasures what he purchased. Oh, he treasures what he purchased. I remember when I got my new car. And I remember coming home. Every couple hours, I'd go back out in the garage, turn the light on, and look at it again. I would go and just sit there for a little while. And then I come back into the house, and I would sit down in my recliner next to Karen with the owner's manual in my hand, just reading through. And while she's trying to watch TV, I said, "Ooh, guess what else it does?" Here's the thing about it. That once I got out and was driving, every time I would get in the car, I would find out something else that it did, something I didn't know it could do that. It would just surprise me, all the stuff that I didn't know about it. As much as I enjoyed it, as much as happy as I missed some stuff. I missed some stuff about it. But guess what? It is not so with you. As your relationship is with God, it is not so with you. Because you are priceless to him. He wouldn't miss anything. Y'all, he knows all about you. And this lets me know how intense the relationship is with him. He knows you so well. Human statistics say this. For most human beings, the average person has 140,000 hairs on their head. Some of us but the average person has 140,000 hairs on their head. The text says that every hair on your head is numbered, and sometimes we miss what that means, because what we're thinking is that what God knows about me is that I have 153,000 hairs on my head. But that misses what the text is actually saying to you. What the text is actually saying is so much more impressive. I mean, it's impressive that he would know exactly how many I have, but what he really means is even more impressive. It says this, the text says that the very number of hairs on your head is numbered. I don't want to say this right. It means this. It means that every hair on your head, or hair follicle in some of our cases, is numbered. That means that it is labeled. That it is labeled. Let me give you a case in point. Right now, you and I are located at 1106 South Kenwood Avenue. That is the number for this place. If you go to 234 West Ray Street, you'll be at Bethesda. Every one of your houses has a number, and it has been identified. So what God is really saying to you is not that I know how many hairs on your head. Of course I know that. What I'm saying is that when you're combing your hair, and two of them fall out, he says, well, that was number 20,381 and 17,442. Every single hair, he knows you that well, that he knows the zip code and the address of every hair on your head. That's an intense relationship that he has with you. Is that overkill? I would say so, but guess what? He did it anyhow. Somebody might say, well, how could he give me that much attention and then give everybody else in here the same amount of attention? And then if you look and ask me that question, my response to you would be, I don't know. I would have to say this. I would have to say that it's probably the same way that when you and I stand in this room and we pray to God, all together at the same time, we pray to him, we lift him up, we spend our personal time. You are praying for him, and you are praying for him, and they are praying for him, and I'm praying for him. Each of us have our own prayers, and while we're praying, he has given each of us at the same time his total and complete and undivided attention. How does he do that? I don't know. I just know that he does. Maybe it's because his ways are not our ways. Understanding is not understanding. Maybe it's because he is a being that is so superior to us that we can't put him in the box that we want to put him in. Maybe it's because the relationship that he has with you is an intense relationship. It's an intensely personal relationship. And if it's a personal relationship, then you should be willing to take it personally. Let me tell you an amazing thing about the Bible. An amazing thing about the Bible. When you read the scriptures, while you're reading the scriptures, you actually, in a spiritual sense, you step out of the natural world. I hope you hear me on this. I hope you hear me on this. When reading the scriptures, you step out of the natural world and you step into a spiritual experience with God himself, a God who knows you personally. as part of your own personal practice. I hope it's something that you will learn and you'll make it a part of your private devotion, your private worship practice. Because what I'm about to say will alter your life. It will alter your prayer life. It will alter your relationship with God if you will just do this. What I'm about to do, it will change your prayer life. It will increase your faithfulness. When you read the Bible in your moments of meditation, here's what I need you to do. Find a time when, let's call it your meditation time. Find you some meditation time, some do not disturb time, some time that you have, some be still and know that I am God time. And then when you are in your be still and know that I am God time, close your eyes and get into that moment. And while you're in that moment, this will be a visualization for you. I want you to visualize a large room that is empty but filled with darkness. But in that dark room, there is a light coming from above, focused down on a single chair. The only thing in that room is that chair. Now, in your holy mind, in your spiritual mind, I want you to walk to that chair and have a seat with your Bible in your hand. And you open up your Bible. And then as you begin to read the text that you're reading, you should read every word, not like you're reading pages on the book, not like you would read a textbook, but I want you to read, but hear the voice coming to you, the voice of God speaking to you from heaven, talking to you specifically, the way that one friend would talk to another. Listen to God speaking to you. Because when you begin to read this way, that God is simply having an encounter with you. When you read that way, you're reading the text the way that he wanted it to be read. He wanted it to be personal to you. Not general. Don't say he's talking about everybody in the room. When I'm reading it, he's talking to me. Because the Bible is not just a book of old sayings. Y'all, the Bible is a love letter written by God himself, and you are the reader. When you are the reader, the love letter is written specifically to you. Just as if you were sitting in a dark room with a single chair and the only one who's being spoken to. This walk that we have with the Lord is intended to be an intensely personal relationship. It's intended to be not just I know him, but it's intended to be intensely personal. A personal one where Jesus is your friend. I recently had a conversation with one of our members. It said something that just touched my heart. And he said this to me. He said this. He said, I don't just think of you as my pastor. I consider you to be my friend. He's not saying, I don't just consider you to be the pastor, because you pastor everybody in the church. But I feel like you and I have a personal thing going on here. A relationship where you know me and where I know you. Jesus Jesus is your friend. Church, understand, Jesus is your friend. He is a personal friend, so take it personally. He is not a generic friend. Just because he saved himself for everyone, understand this, he did save you. And somehow, some way, I don't know how he does it, that when he was on the cross, he thought of you. He didn't get down from the cross because he loved you. He said, if I come down, John Woodall cannot be saved. So will you let him be your friend? Will you let Jesus be your friend? And can I tell you something? Y'all, he wants to be your best friend. He wants to be your best friend, because when I need someone to talk to, I can always call on my best friend. He said, just call my name and I'll be there. When I need someone to understand me, I can always call on my best friend, because he knows me better than I even know myself. When I need someone to help me, I can always call on my best friend. He may not come when I want him. Oh, but I know he'll be there right on time. When I need someone to love me, I can always call on my best friend. Because greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for a friend. Church, there's not a friend like the lowly Jesus. No, not one. No, not one. Can't nobody do me like Jesus. Can't nobody do me like the Lord. Can't nobody do me like Jesus, because he truly is my friend. My friend stepped down off his throne in glory. My friend stayed on life, born and lived on this earth. He was born in a lonely mansion in a little town called Bethlehem to a virgin named Mary. My friend walked the face of this earth for 33 years, healing the sick, raising the dead. All the blind they see, the mute they speak. Oh, church, my friend went up on Calvary's hill. He went up there for me. They stretched him wide, pierced him in his side. His blood flowed for me, so that one day on Calvary, he bowed his head and he died. He died, and he died for me. He was buried for me. But early on Sunday morning, he rose, and he rose for me. And because he got up, I can face tomorrow. Because he got up. I just want to let you know life is worth the living just because he lived. God bless you, church.